So it's me again, and I got some more content for you. Just three little things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the PlayStation 4 actually being the second best console of all time, home console, not handhelds or anything like that. Secondly, I want to talk about Sony actually still doing some acquisitions of development studios. They still think about doing that, and I'll get into it. I made a couple of videos about PlayStation View closing down, and I'll get into that later. The third thing is fanboys. More and more and more and more and more and more fanboys. Oh gosh, about Death Stranding. There's some interesting things have come out. But before we actually begin our video, let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked it, a sub will be appreciated. Don't forget we have a PSN giveaway once a month. November is going to start off the $60 giveaway for the Metacritic guessing, rating guessing for Death Stranding. And so we got prepared for December. Anyway, let's begin on talking about the PlayStation 4 and how it beat PS1, which was the second best-selling console of all time. The numbers for the PlayStation 4 as of within a few months is 102 million, 8,000, I believe it is. I don't know, 102.8 million. That's what it is. Beating out the PS1, which is 102.4. Why is this significant? Well, the PlayStation, you gotta understand inflation and shit like that too, but the PlayStation 1 and 2 actually hit the $100 mark when it came to the consoles, and the PS2 is still, the PS4 actually is still fucking $200. You know what I mean? I think it's probably 250, around there. Regardless of the matter is, one of the reasons why the PlayStation 2 did 155 million is because it got all the way down to $99 and had a shit ton of games, the most you ever seen, covering all genres and stuff like that. So that's what's going on with that. Congratulations, Sony. They really did earn it. You know, it was an uphill struggle. They took their names out of the fucking gutter for the PS3 and then rose it into the stratosphere for the PS4. The PS4 is most likely not going to get those numbers because you can't lower the price of a console with the hard drives and stuff like that. They are always going to be expensive. And I totally understand Sony as to why you don't want to do that. I get it. I totally get it. Regardless of the matter is, congratulations, Sony, on that one. One of the things too in terms of their sales is that the software actually is really making a big bucks. Like if you look at the revenue that they gain, it's not the hardware, it's about the PlayStation service, the actual service. As a matter of fact, hardware for Sony as a whole went down a little bit because apparently there's so many places you can get the hardware. Services is really the thing to go for, and it's not the PlayStation, PlayStation Plus numbers. It's actually having the games on a store. That's what's selling a lot. That's what's making most of the money. The fact that you can buy the games from the store because there's no distribution. Sony gets their 33% versus, Sony gets more than the 33% because there's no manufacturing cost for the Blu-rays and the cases and stuff like that. So they're making money. And the funny thing is too, even though Apple's the top of everything right now, their numbers went down for their cell phones and stuff like that too, but they grew profit-wise for the services that they have. That goes to show you that it's a saturation of devices nowadays. But I don't want to dwell too much on that one. I just wanted to kind of put that out there. The next thing I wanted to talk about is, well, Sony seems to be doubling down on their services. A long time ago, Apple actually was going to be a bankrupt, defunct company. And what they ended up doing is they trimmed the fat everywhere but their computers. And they kept doing that because that was where their name was at. That was where their name brand was really making, that was the most recognizable. And it seems like Sony is going through the same situation. They just recently, I just made a video about this and it had all this explanations and shit like that. But like the PlayStation View, they're closing that down. The official statement was, unfortunately, the highly competitive TV industry with expensive content and network deals have been slower to change than we expected. Because of this, we decided to remain focused on our core gaming business. That is where it's not that it's a money maker necessarily. What's happening with that is that it's their most, how can I put it? I don't want to say it's the most recognizable. It may be, but it's their most successful. And you want to jump onto your success. You want to cultivate that. You want to push that shit out there. You want to make sure that's the face of whatever success that you have in your company. That is the face, so you can spread that around. So if people know that PlayStation is synonymous with everything with Sony, anything that has a PlayStation name, like the iPhone or iPods and then iPhones and the you can move that success over to other things as well. Maybe they'll do it for their cell phones. Maybe they'll cut out the cell phones altogether because that's the numbers going down. One of the reasons why, if you ever look at their numbers, it's going down is because they took it out of all these countries. They wanted to focus on people just buying it outright directly on their store. And a couple months ago, you can buy their shit on the store as well. Um, but going on to the next subject, here's the thing. If that's the case, Sony has also said too with their press release about their numbers and stuff like that that they're looking to acquire other development studios. And I wonder if Death Stranding is going to be a part of that shit. You know what I mean? Because Insomniac was a no go. They was like, "Yo, I don't want to be bought at all until that $10 million." Now, when it sold $10 million, all of a sudden everybody was like, "Oh shit, um, that's a lot of fucking money." Sony was able to negotiate with them, and they ended up purchasing that whole studio. I almost want to say, let's see how Death Stranding pans out. If it sells a lot based off of the hype of Kojima and just in general how it was marketed, I wonder if Sony is going to go after them. People were saying Remedy. Remedy hasn't really made anything good that is be a stain on their name. I'm sorry for the people that liked whatever Control, whatever the case is, but it flopped. Point blank. So, I don't think Sony wants that under their belt. They don't want no flops. No flop zones. So, they want nothing but pristine stuff to support their successful branch. So, I'm thinking about Blue Point, but then Blue Point is they just make other people's shit. They try to do this with Ready at Dawn, and when they made their own thing, it kind of flopped as well. With The Order 1886, I don't know if they want to fuck with them, honestly. I think maybe they'll buy Kojima Productions. That's what I hope. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, just the fanboys would just be reaming for that shit. That'd be funny as hell. That'd be hilarious. Speaking of fanboys, when Kojima Productions announced that they were going to come out for the PC, all sorts of weird comments was coming out. I'm not buying this. Kojima, you suck. I went onto one of the forums. It was a reset era. One person was like, I'm so glad I waited. Now I can spend money. I don't have to spend money on the PlayStation 4 Pro for a single game. For real, like these particular gaming outlets, you were never going to buy the fucking console anyway. There are so many heavy hitters on the PlayStation. You wasn't going to buy that shit. Like let's be honest about it. You wasn't going to buy it. Let's not lie about it. So that's the funny thing that's what they were saying. One person was like, what did he say? Um, I didn't know either. 'Cause I don't think I have anything else. I didn't know either that Sony owns the Death Stranding name, and they still put it out for the PC. That just to let you. That goes to show you, they're trying to expand their company. They really are. They're trying to expand this shit, and so people can come back to their main product after they're on PC. But anyway, let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video, and if you liked it, please sub to the channel. I would really appreciate it. We got some really cool content coming up tomorrow. I want to have a guest star, so be all on the lookout for that. Peace out.